On this episode of WGTV, the Department of Public Safety has a new initiative.
Just basically because of peer pressure, teens are going to be more likely to be on their phones. They're going to have distractions with all their friends.
A cat cafe has an important mission.
The mission of Whiskers and Soda Cafe is really to just get as many cats adopted as we can.
And the cheer team welcomes a new teammate.
I've had to be an overcomer since birth because, I was born blind and I had to look at the world in a different way than everyone else.
These stories and more on this episode of WGTV. Good afternoon, Wildcats, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of WGTV. Live from the Grove, I'm Luke Kemper.
And I'm Kendall Barnes.
We have many exciting stories coming up, but first, Kendall's going to catch you up on what's been happening at the Grove. Kendall?
Thanks, Luke. Today is the last day for juniors and seniors to buy their prom tickets. The Walnut Grove Masquerade themed prom is tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Hilton Granite Park Hotel. In terms of arrival, parking is complimentary. For more details, be checking your email. Now, speaking of upperclassmen, today is Decision Day for the class of 2026. Decision Day is a time of celebration for seniors taking their next step beyond high school. It also marks the end of College Week. This event is taking place during Grove time in the cafeteria. Now, despite seniors leaving, Prosper still welcomes new citizens to the town. Because of its growing population, Prosper is getting its 4th fire station. The official grand opening was hosted this past Tuesday. Hudson Acosta has the story.
A fire station that represents years of vision, planning, sacrifice, teamwork, and commitment to the safety of this community.
On Tuesday, the town of Prosper held their opening ceremony for its 4th fire station. The new fire station is expected to serve the eastern side of the town, where the development has increased in the recent years.
We're very excited to get an engine crew out there. We'll do the official, what we call uncoupling, which is basically like a grand opening. We take fire hose, small sections of fire hose, and we uncouple the hose. So it's almost like cutting a ribbon. We uncouple the hose, and that's the tradition for fire companies.
The fire station is at 3980 East Prosper Trail, just west of Custer Road. For WGTV, I'm Hudson Acosta.
The development of the fire station is yet another improvement for the town of Prosper. These improvements make it easier for surrounding fire stations to arrive in fast areas. One example is a fire that occurred yesterday in Salina neighborhood, Mustang Lakes. First responders were able to respond before things got out of control. Little information is released, but this event is still happening. Thank you.
Distracted driving is becoming a growing problem across Texas, with more drivers taking their eyes off the road than ever before. Christopher Munchmeyer has the story.
It's still looking down. Started going without even looking up.
In 2025, there were over 86,000 crashes caused by distracted driving in Texas alone. And for Texas state troopers, that's not just a number, but something they see every day, especially with teen drivers.
Basically because of peer pressure, teens are going to be more likely to be on their phones. They're going to have distractions with all their friends. Ladies are going to be putting on their makeup, helping each other put on their makeup, and it just causes a big distraction.
The Department of Public Safety has a new distracted driving initiative that increases state troopers on state highways and toll roads, looking out for distracted drivers that could lead to a fatal accident.
So every one of our scenes is going to be different. We have different levels of damage that are done to the cars, everything from minor damage to all the vehicles being destroyed. Sometimes we see every month we see vehicles rolled over, vehicles on their tops, and along with severe injuries inside of them.
Just being stopped at a small intersection, it doesn't take long to see why distracted driving is so dangerous. Drivers looking down at their phones even for a few seconds puts everyone around them at risk.
So we're at the red light, and then you have someone at a complete stop.
Yeah.
And see if they even look up at all. But both hands on the phone, not even looked up.
Lights turn
since
green.
Since we've been looking at them. It's still looking down. Started going without even looking up.
Yeah.
So, it's and it may not be every time that it, but it definitely does not help your your driving skills and it increases the the risk of a crash there. So we're fortunate that didn't end up with anything serious there.
Although you cannot go to jail for distracted driving, a first offense fine can be as high as $100, and it can still lead to severe harm. Thank you so much.
Of course, anytime.
Yeah. For WGTV, I'm Christopher Munchmeyer.
The Department of Public Safety officials say that even a few seconds of distracted driving can increase the likelihood of a crash up to 6 times.
A powerful system of storms has swept through Texas over the past few days. So far, 2 people have been injured and parts of DFW received minor damages. The storm in Mineral Wells, a small town outside of Fort Worth, suffered some of the most damages due to an EF3 tornado. As a result, buildings were torn down and power outages occurred for several days. Cleanup crews have been in effect, helping the town get back on their feet. In 2024, the average gas price was $3.41 per gallon, and recently with inflation, the cost is now $4.18. This is a 22% increase. Compared to surrounding areas, this is average. This is making Texans contemplate what public transportation is available in their cities. For students especially, public transportation is little to none, if not in a larger city. This makes all students depend on their own cars, leaving them spending an average of $223 a month on gas alone.
A unique cafe in North Texas is giving customers more than just a drink. It's helping cats find a home. Olivia Cook takes us inside.
I'm here at Whiskers and Soda, where furry friends meet fizzy drinks. Whiskers and Soda is a cafe located in East Dallas, where customers get the opportunity to mingle with these friendly felines.
The mission of Whiskers and Soda Cafe is really to just get as many cats adopted as we can. All the cats that are in the cafe are up for adoption. General idea is that someone would come into the cafe, have a cup of coffee, and fall in love and adopt a little cat.
Thanks to their partnership with the cat rescue group A Voice for All Paws, Whiskers and Soda is able to host multiple foster cats looking for a new home.
So you can experience all the different types of cats. A lot of cats have different personalities, and it's really important to see that in a public setting.
The cafe's mission is important beyond its walls as others put their efforts into supporting cat adoption.
There's just so many cats out there that just don't have homes, for lack of a better word. And so we're pretty rigorous with our application and adoption process to make sure that these cats go to their forever home. We try to rescue as many as we can and get them all fixed up and get them into a house full of love.
The environment fostered in this cafe can turn a sudden bond into the perfect companionship. For WGTV, I'm Olivia Cook.
The cafe continues to partner with local rescue groups to help more cats find their forever home. Shifting gears from inside to out, Holden Farr has your sports recap. Holden?
Thanks, Luke. Starting off your sports recap today, we have big headlines from outside the Grove. First, looking into the NFL with the draft. The Dallas Cowboys brought home a huge draft haul with their 2 first-round picks. They selected defensive lineman Malachi Lawrence with pick 23 and standout Ohio State safety Caleb Downs, who fell all the way to the Cowboys at pick 11. Downs is widely regarded as the best overall player in the entire draft, so getting Downs at 11 was an absolute steal by the Cowboys front office. Another big headline for Dallas sports is in the NBA, where rookie sensation Cooper Flagg won Rookie of the Year over Con Knipple in an extremely tight race. This is the first time a Maverick has won Rookie of the Year since Luka Doncic in 2019. Flagg led the team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. The only other rookie to ever do that is Michael Jordan. Moving to the college level, the NCAA announced Tuesday that they are expanding their men's and women's basketball tournament from 64 teams to 76 teams. This expansion would start for the 2027 tournament. This past Saturday, numerous teams, including football teams from all 4 high schools, competed in the 5th annual fire truck pull to see who could pull a stationary fire truck the fastest.
Here they come, your Walnut Grove Wildcats. Hey, family on 3. 1, 2, 3, family!
In this competition, the Wildcat football team ended up beating the Prosper Fire Rescue team, the reigning champions of this event. Going back to the semifinals, the Prosper Fire Rescue team, Walnut Grove football, Rock Hill football, and Prosper football remained in the competition, with the fire team coming out with a time of 12.4 seconds. This time beat everyone in the round and got them to the next round. In the finals, however, the Wildcats came out on top with a time of 13.1 seconds, beating the fire rescue team's 13.15 seconds to win first overall. The goal of this event is to benefit Prosper ISD's Special Education Department, promoting inclusiveness and awareness. The next fire truck pull is set for April 17th, 2027, so start getting your teams organized and training to pull a multi-ton vehicle. Coming back to the Grove, Batesball is in the midst of their first round series against Hallsville. They played Game 1 Wednesday where they took a loss 5-2, and Game 2 took place last night where the Wildcats pulled off the narrow win, 5-4. They play Game 3 winner takes all at North Forney High School tomorrow afternoon at 1. Moving from one diamond to the other, softball has advanced to the third round after sweeping Wakeland in Game 2 of the series. They now play Lake Belton in round 3 starting next Saturday. Monday morning, the Walnut Grove golf team had their state tournament and they took home first place to win their second state championship. All 5 competitors finished in the top 25 with Carson James placing 22nd, who shot 5 over. Brian Sargent and Jackson Lawrence both placed 18th and both shot 4 over. Colin Alstrom placed 13th and shot 1 over. And finally, Austin Randall, who shot 5 under, brought home first place for the entire tournament.
It was kind of like a stress reliever because we were like all stressed kind of towards the end because it was really close and we wanted to win really bad. And kind of all the work that we put in all year kind of came up to that moment. So we were really happy to win, especially going back-to-back. Not many people are able to do that.
As the golf team wraps up this season, they hope to continue their streak as they move up to 6A. With numerous Walnut Grove teams having victories in their season, they also look forward to the next season and the new members that will join. For cheer, they're welcoming a new freshman who earned her spot on the team despite her disability. Kendall Barnes has the story.
But she didn't really open her eyes. I mean, I remember her opening them for about a split second, and they were this gorgeous blue color like the sky. And then she closed them.
She was born without full sight, but that hasn't stopped her from moving forward. Finley Veers is a legally blind 8th grader who just made next year's freshman cheer team.
What I see is I have completely no vision in my right eye, so I see completely nothing, no light, no dark. And then in my left eye, I have no peripheral, which that means the sides and the up and the down of my eye, I have nothing. And then I have no depth perception either, so I can't tell how far something is away from me or how close it is to my face.
Despite being blind in one eye and having no depth perception in the other, she has defeated all medical odds.
You know, she's had 25 eye surgeries since she was born. It's a little overwhelming, to be honest. But, you know, I try not to look in the past. I look into the future, and to know that at 15 years old, she is still seeing and she is accomplishing goals that doctors told us that she would never accomplish, she would never be able to do. It's just living proof of the God that we serve.
Finley doesn't let her disability stop her from pursuing her passion, like joining the cheer team her freshman year.
I've had to be an overcomer since birth because, I mean, I was born blind and I had to look at the world in a different way than everyone else. And so I think of cheer as just cheer. It's not that I'm cheering while being blind, it's that I'm cheering and I'm doing the thing that I love.
Finley's family relies heavily on their faith, not only to help them overcome, but embrace Finley's blindness, creating a community for their family and hundreds of others.
Our main mission of Fearless Hope is to bring hope. That's why we called it Fearless Hope, because when we were facing, you know, her first surgery at 6 weeks old, there was no one that, you know, we could turn to as far as that had walked through our shoes, like what we're getting ready to do.
My doctors were telling my parents that I would never be able to see, but God had different plans for me.
And so we wanted to provide hope for other families, and we wanted them to see that, you know, there's hope in all circumstances, no matter what you go through, and she's living proof of that.
From her birth to onto the cheer mat, Finley's fighting everything in her way. For WGTV, I'm Kendall Barnes.
The nonprofit Fearless Hope helps provide information, training, resources, and support to the visually impaired. You can find more information on their website, fearlesshope.org. That's all for your sports recap. For WGTV, I'm Holden Farah. Back to you, Luke and Kendall.
Thanks, Holden. You know, Luke, it was very inspirational to hear Finley's story firsthand.
Yeah, I think it's very inspirational as well. I think it's very impressive that she can stunt and tumble without peripheral vision or depth perception.
Yes.
That's all we have today. For WGTV, I'm Luke Kempert.
And I'm Kendall Barnes. Thanks for watching, and remember, Wildcats, set the standard.